This is the Vivo X300 Ultra, and it is without a doubt officially in the running for the best smartphone for pro video in 2026, delivering incredible raw video, DCG on all three sensors, Vivo Log in APV, and much more. And once you use a 35mm lens as your camera's main focal length, you will never want to go back to the standard 24mm lens on your iPhone, Xiaomi, or Samsung. But it isn't perfect, at least not yet. There are 7 key issues Vivo need to fix if they want Vivo Log to rival the iPhone's Apple Log, but with MotionCam Pro we can bypass those limitations for unbelievable results. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I've turned this into the most impressive pocket cinema camera I've ever used. I'm Elliot, I'm a filmmaker based in Hobart, Tasmania, and I purchased this device with my own money. And in this video, I'm going to share my first impressions after filming over 4 terabytes of video with it. This video is not sponsored, it's made possible by my incredible channel members. Thank you. Please consider joining them if you like unbiased deep dives like this and get access to exclusive perks and raw sample clips shown in this video. Now let's dive in and take a look at this rather remarkable device. First up, let's talk about the brand new Pro Video mode along with Vivo Log and the APV codec, Samsung's answer to ProRes on the iPhone, delivering 422 all-intra compression on Android. On the spec sheet at least, it appears that Vivo is serious about Pro Video, but just how good is it in practice? Well, there's good news and bad news here. Let's start with the good news. First, Pro Video mode, which is clearly inspired by Blackmagic Design's camera interface, delivers full manual controls, supports shutter priority mode, quick lens switching, false color, focus peaking, and zebras. Even the ability to import display LUTs. It even has support for PAL frame rates and 24 FPS. It is without a doubt the best Pro Video mode available on any smartphone for both feature set and user experience. It also includes support for Vivo Log, which delivers flat 10-bit video designed to maximize dynamic range and provide the most flexibility to grade in post, and it takes advantage of DCG or dual conversion gain, which I'll have more to say on in a minute. This is all great news for filmmakers, and I have to say that overall I'm impressed. Vivo Log can deliver a gorgeous image across all 3 lenses. While the included Vivo Log 2 Rec. 709 LUT is okay for display normalization, it doesn't do Vivo Log justice and introduces a strong magenta cast that ruins skin tones. To remedy this, I've created my own LUTs for Vivo Log, including Gloat for Vivo Log, the greatest LUT of all time, that delivers perfect skin tones and a filmic color palette for absolutely stunning results. It is the ultimate everyday Rec. 709 LUT. I've also created a series of film LUTs which I'm bundling with Gloat, and you'll find them linked in the pinned comment if you want to check them out. Vivo Log is available on other models of Vivo, including the X100 and X200 Ultra, but what's unique to the X300 Ultra and not available on earlier devices is the ability to record in Vivo Log using the brand new APV codec, thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset, which features a dedicated APV hardware encoder with support for up to 120 FPS across all 3 lenses. And this should be the best news of all for filmmakers, as APV is a truly incredible codec, but unfortunately APV is just one of 7 key issues that prevents Vivo Log in Pro Video mode from being everything it should be and a serious rival to Apple Log in ProRes on the iPhone. The first and most serious issue is the strange artifacts present in APV recordings. If you zoom in, just look at the digital parasites dancing around the image. Even without zooming in, you can see something very strange happening in areas with fine detail. Issue number 2 relates to white balance. It does a great job when it's in auto, but as soon as you lock it, an ugly magenta shift is introduced. The same issue has long plagued Samsung devices, and it's a shame to see it here too. Hopefully Vivo addresses this quickly. Issue number 3 is that this device is prone to quite noticeable moire in fine detail, and in a way that other smartphones I've tested are not. Whether this can be improved via a software update, I'm unsure. Issue number 4 is the inability to disable digital sharpening in Pro Video mode. I'd love to see this feature added. While Vivo already offers a toggle to disable noise reduction, I don't think it fully disables it. Issue number 5 is related to external SSD capture. While technically there they offer external recording, the X300 Ultra incorrectly treats my Lexar Go USB 3.2 drive as USB 2.0, despite it achieving write speeds over 800 megabytes per second on this device. Issue number 6 is that Pro Video Mode only supports 16:9 and not OpenGate capture. And issue number 7 is that Vivo does not make Vivo Log available to third-party apps like Blackmagic Camera, which does support OpenGate recording, APV codec, and the ability to disable sharpening and noise reduction, along with a functional white balance lock, free from ugly color cast. Samsung made Samsung Log available to third-party apps, and Vivo really needs to do the same. But as it stands, Vivo Log can still deliver really impressive results and takes advantage of things like face tracking autofocus and excellent electronic stabilization that are only available in the native app's Pro Video Mode. If Vivo fixes these issues I've just listed, the X300 Ultra will offer a truly exceptional native video experience in Vivo Log and rival, if not surpass, the iPhone in ProRes Apple Log. But we don't need to wait for Vivo to turn this phone into an iPhone killer. We can bypass the limitations that hit Pro Video Mode by using the greatest app of all time, MotionCam Pro. MotionCam Pro lets you capture true raw video free from image signal processing for a level of quality that surpasses mirrorless cameras and rivals dedicated pocket cinema cameras. MotionCam Pro is the only app that unlocks what the Vivo X300 Ultra's hardware is really capable of. The video I can get with it is just insane, across all 3 lenses, capturing in 4K OpenGate at up to 60 frames per second. Reviewing the footage, I can't quite believe this is coming from a smartphone. It is that good. For starters, using a 35mm focal length for the main lens is something the whole industry needs to move towards. It's a much better focal length for the main sensor than the 24mm used on the iPhone, Xiaomi and Samsung, which is just too wide. Just look at how much background separation you get at 35mm. Then there is the ultra-wide lens, which uses the largest sensor of any phone I've ever tested for gorgeous results. It's the only ultra-wide on a smartphone I will actually use and blows every other smartphone out of the water. And the 85mm telephoto is just as impressive. Beautiful background separation and incredible sharpness. But MotionCam Pro doesn't just offer raw video capture, it also supports log capture in APV using its direct log mode, which makes it an incredible alternative to Vivo's own Pro Video Mode. Direct log is special because it transcodes the raw sensor stream to APV, ProRes or HEVC on the fly, allowing you to shoot in your color space and transfer function of choice, including Sony S-Log 3, Apple Log 2 or Arri Log C, completely free from any ISP and instantly ready for editing. And unlike ProRes on Android, APV is hardware accelerated on the Vivo X300 Ultra, so performance is exceptional. I've been shooting direct log in Arri Log C in 4K OpenGate with MotionCam Pro, and the results are stunning. It doesn't suffer from the over-sharpening or heavy denoising issue that the native app does, because it completely bypasses all ISP. I get Arri Log C video in 422 APV that's instantly ready to grade. I can apply the official Arri Rec 709 LUT and it works perfectly, or I can use Filmbox Pro, which is the very best film emulation plugin for Resolve and Premiere. Not only does it accurately model iconic film stocks like Kodak Vision 3, but it delivers the most accurate grain and halation emulation available. I just treat my MotionCam Pro direct log video as Arri Log C and get perfect results instantly. If you want to save 10% on Filmbox Pro or scatter diffusion filter emulation for the ultimate film look, I've left a special link in the pinned comment. So, MotionCam Pro is all you need to transform this phone into the ultimate pocket cinema camera, but it doesn't end with just raw video and direct log in APV. MotionCam Pro has one more trick up its sleeve that takes the Vivo X300 Ultra into GOAT territory for video quality. It unlocks DCG on all rear sensors. What is DCG? I'm glad you asked. DCG, short for dual conversion gain, is a sensor technology that merges 2 ISO exposures for increased dynamic range and less noise. This isn't software-based HDR. There are no ghosting artifacts. It's a remarkable technology for filmmakers that has been available on modern smartphone sensors for years, but left disabled by OEMs. And the biggest hope that filmmakers had for the X300 Ultra was that Vivo would unlock DCG out of the box for third-party apps like MotionCam Pro and follow in Google's footsteps, who unlocked this on the Pixel 10 Pro without needing root access. Based on feedback from DCG proponents to the Vivo engineering team after the release of the Vivo X200 Ultra, Vivo knew just how important this feature was for filmmakers, which is why it was such a kick in the nuts when Vivo failed to deliver DCG support for third-party apps on the Vivo X300 Ultra, despite utilizing it in their own app for Vivo Log. But once again, the MotionCam Pro community did what the OEM wouldn't and found a way to unlock DCG on all three sensors without needing root access by using something called opcodes. Talented community members explored which vendor tags the native camera app was using to activate DCG and then tested them in MotionCam Pro until they cracked the code. I was simply the lucky beneficiary of this incredible work and got a lens profile to import into MotionCam Pro, which instantly unlocks DCG on every sensor. From my lens picker, I can choose the standard stream Vivo offers with DCG disabled, or I can choose the lens that has DCG activated via opcodes. A huge shout out to Anaconda7177 and Raghu Saucy on the MotionCam Discord for making this possible by sharing their lens profiles with me, and the results are simply incredible and most evident in high contrast scenes captured at low ISO values. In this shot, filmed without DCG, if I increase the exposure and boost the shadows, look how much noise is present in the raw data. This is what we're used to. This is the same shot, but this time with DCG enabled in MotionCam Pro. As I increase exposure and boost the shadows, look at just how much cleaner the raw data is. The difference is simply remarkable, and it is such a shame that OEMs like Vivo, Xiaomi and Samsung all continue to disable this completely or reserve it for their own use via private keys and block third-party access. Now you might be wondering how I've been rigging out the Vivo X300 Ultra to support 67 ND filters and my protective lens cap, along with 17mm lenses like this one from Reflex. Well, I'm using this case from AliExpress that I've linked in the pinned comment. It is, as of right now, the only case available for the Vivo X300 Ultra with support for 67mm filters and 17mm threaded lenses. Unfortunately, it has one significant flaw, and that's due to the inclusion of a 17mm lens mount over the ultra-wide that introduces significant vignetting. This is just bad design, as the ultra-wide is the one lens you never attach an external lens to, so why they added a 17mm thread to it is bizarre. Another drawback is that it does not include MagSafe support either, but those minor issues aside, it is currently the best option available. It is incredibly cheap and works perfectly on the wide and tele lenses and will do the job until a better option is available. I pair it with the Freewell magnetic 67mm filter adapter and lens cap for protection, and the M2 magnetic ND filter kit, which I highly recommend. This Freewell ND kit is currently 40% off with the link in the pinned comment, and I've included a 10% discount code so you can pick it up for half price. And the last element of my rig is my universal grip, which I use across all my phones. I purchased all these accessories myself, and they make for an excellent pocket cinema camera build. Now let's briefly talk about the X300 Ultra's stabilization, which is one of the features that convinced me to pick up this device. In accordance with CIPA testing standards, Vivo claimed the 14mm ultra-wide-angle camera achieves a CIPA 6.0 stabilization rating, 35mm lens achieves a CIPA score of 6.5, and the 85mm telephoto camera achieves an industry-leading CIPA 7.0 score in the pitch and yaw directions. So how does it perform in the real world? Incredibly well, so long as you are not moving your camera, at which point it sticks, leading to unnatural movement when panning and tilting. So what works exceptionally well for photos does not look great for fluid video movement. Again, stabilization is incredible for static shots and photos. You can leave your tripod at home. However, if you want natural movement, I recommend you disable OIS in MotionCam Pro and then stabilize in post using DaVinci Resolve. You'll get much more natural results this way. The native Vivo Apps Pro Video mode offers 2 layers of digital stabilization in addition to OIS, and I have to say the results are very impressive when stabilization is set to standard. When it comes to frame rate performance, there are a number of pleasant surprises here. First, the native Apps Pro Video mode can deliver a constant frame rate for Vivo Log, especially on the 35mm lens. Not always, but often. I've never seen this on an Android before, so kudos to Vivo here. If Vivo could deliver a constant frame rate 100% of the time across all lenses in a future update, then this device would be the first to rival the iPhone 17 Pro, which is currently the only smartphone capable of constant frame rate in Blackmagic camera. MotionCam Pro can also deliver constant frame rate in direct log APV, which is fantastic. Second, 120 FPS in APV Vivo Log in Pro Video mode is really impressive, delivering super slow motion that is a lot of fun to film with at a whopping 2000 megabits per second. Third, 60 FPS in RAW using MotionCam Pro is available and works nicely. I'm yet to stress test this fully, and I have seen drop frames on longer takes, so I'll revisit this in my full review, so make sure you're subscribed for that. And lastly, 60 FPS in direct log APV full sensor in MotionCam Pro is available, which is remarkable and makes this the first device that I can actually shoot 4K 60 FPS in direct log on. Again, benchmarking needs to be undertaken and will be incorporated into my full review in the near future. So those are my first impressions of the Vivo X300 Ultra. Out of the box, it is very good in Pro Video mode with Vivo Log, held back from being great by the 7 key issues I outlined earlier in the video. If you want to enter GOAT territory with this device, then just use MotionCam Pro, and suddenly the X300 Ultra is in the running for Best Pocket Cinema Camera in 2026. Am I happy with my investment? For once, absolutely. I'm so glad I went with the 1TB version, and by opting for the Chinese model, I saved a huge amount over getting the global version, making this device almost $1,000 cheaper than the 1TB iPhone 17 Pro Max here in Australia. I've left a link to where I bought this device in the pinned comment. They are reliable and ensure there are no import duties to pay. If Vivo make the necessary improvements to the native Pro Video mode to address the current issues, it will be truly incredible. And as the MotionCam Pro community continues to unlock new features via opcodes, it only gets more powerful. But as it is right now, if you're serious about Pro Video on a mobile device and happy to embrace raw workflows, I don't think there's a better device available. Perhaps the Xiaomi 17 Ultra on the main and tele lens, but not the ultra wide. I'll be doing full comparisons between video quality on the Vivo X300 Ultra, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, Samsung S26 Ultra, and iPhone 17 Pro in future videos, so make sure you're subscribed. Gloat for Vivo Log along with my Filmbox LUTs are linked in the pinned comment, and as a thank you for watching until the end, you can save 20% with the code BIVO20 for a limited time. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you feel like binging more pocket cinema goodness from yours truly, I think you'll love these 2 videos. Drop your questions in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.